Robert Rigby, to be followed by Mimi Dash, to be followed by Paul McClemens.
I yield my time to Kevin Hickerson.
Thank you, Robert. Good evening, Superintendent Lockard, Chairwoman Evans, and the FCPS School Board and staff. I'm Kevin Hickerson, President of the Fairfax Education Association. Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. What a better way to show teachers that you care about them by valuing them and contributing to the security of their futures. When we talk about a caring culture, people need to feel that they will not have the rug pulled out from underneath of them when it comes to their salaries and benefits. Already, VRS has been degraded for new employees. The VRS hybrid plan was sold as a way for employees to have more direction and control over their retirement and to contribute what they needed for a secure future. What we have found in reality is that employees are often not able to take advantage of the employer match because of current salary and cost of living issues. This is creating a shortfall in their retirement portfolio. The ERFC is essential to our employees to counteract the state's actions. If not for the ERFC, this supplement, employees in Fairfax will be harmed even more by the state changes. I have been to nearly 60 buildings talking to employees about their potential changes to the ERFC benefit. When I talked to the newer employees, they were often confounded and incredulous that the school system they were just beginning to work for would change their retirement so abruptly. I had people tell me stories of moving from other counties specifically for the ERFC benefit. Others told me about how insulted they would be and that they would leave for another school system if the compensation package isn't what was advertised. FCPS has been feeling the pain of the teacher shortage now for a few years now. This is a national problem and will only continue. We increase our class sizes due to the budget shortfalls. We ask more of our employees. The last way we are going to recruit and retain an excellent workforce is by cutting the compensation and benefits package further. Paying for current salary increases by cutting the retirement does not increase compensation. It is simply a way to rearrange the deck chairs. The ERFC is sustainable. It is appropriately funded. It is affordable. It is essential. It needs to be marketed better. Our retirement plan is not lavish. Our employees are not retiring and buying luxury cars, taking round-the-world vacations, and buying multi-million-dollar mansions. They're just trying to stay in their homes in Fairfax, which costs more than houses in many parts of the country, buy food in a high cost of living area, have a car just nice enough to get them through the labyrinth we finally refer to as normal traffic, and deal with the health care costs in an uncertain future. Our employees simply want to be able to retire with dignity and the respect they deserve after serving the Fairfax community for years. We should treat our current employees and future employees with that respect. Thank you.
Thank you. Mimi Dash, to be followed by Paul McClemens, to be followed by Hank Kim. Ms. Dash.
Chairperson Evans, Superintendent Lockard, and members of the school board. My name is Mimi Dash. I come here tonight representing the Fairfax Education Association retired and as a member of the Fairfax Employee Pension Coalition. I retired from FCPS after more than 30 years as an elementary classroom teacher. I was proud of my contributions to the system, but more importantly, I was proud of the impact I had on my students. Having said that, let me tell you that at the end of my 30-year period, I was exhausted, completely and utterly exhausted. But at the end of that tunnel, there was a retirement system that I could count on. I contributed to all 3 pension funds. I agreed to salary trade-offs in order to assure retirement security. It was the right decision. Although I can exist on the pensions I receive, it is adequate. It is not generous. In fact, I am within a few $1,000s of being eligible for tax relief. I know colleagues who already receive it. And that is with the legacy plan, not the plan that you have already eroded. Now this board is considering even more changes that have the potential of destabilizing a well-run system. This is being done to put more money in salaries. The savings are so minuscule that if you divide and gave that $4.7 million to every employee, that would be less than $200 per person per year. For that $200, employees can anticipate about a 3% loss of benefit upon retirement. We believe that suggested changes are short-sighted. They provide a minimum budget gain for an enormous long-term negative impact. These changes have the potential of forcing employees to work longer because they cannot afford to retire. This increases the cost to FCPS because they will be the employees at the top of the scale, adding potentially $10 million annually. I entered teaching because it was my calling. I was naive enough to believe that the system was as committed to doing what was best for students and employees. It didn't take me long to realize that becoming an activist was the only way to make things happen. But my commitment to the students never wavered. Improving working conditions and benefits may sound self-serving, but personal security and job satisfaction have a direct impact in the classroom. When employees feel secure and respected, they are free to be the best they can be at their jobs. Whether they're in front of the classroom, driving a school bus, pushing a broom or mop, or assisting in any of the other very important jobs that make FCPS great, they are able to be at their personal best. When the school board says that they are committed to a caring culture, doesn't that include its employees? Are we trying to attract people to a short-term job, or are we committed to attracting people to a noble career? Every election year, we hear every politician talk about their commitment to quality education. We are telling you that supporting quality employees is the only way to provide quality education. Please stop balancing budgets on the backs of your already overburdened employees. Do the right thing. Maintain ERFC as it is.
Thank you. Paul McClemens, to be followed by Hank Kim. Mr. McClemens.
Good evening, Dr. Lockhart, Chairman Evans, Student Representative Ms. Chu, and esteemed school board members. My name is Paul McClemens, President of the Fairfax County Federation of Teachers. I represent many of the people who educate our county's youth, preparing them to compete in a highly competitive global economy. At the beginning of this school year, FCPS started off with over 250 unfilled teaching positions. This continued to be a problem throughout the year, with the choice being to fill those positions with substitutes and out-of-field teachers. We hear comments from interns and student teachers at George Mason University indicating that FCPS is not the place that they hope to teach. Teachers are leaving Fairfax in droves and finding better positions with better benefits and working conditions. The workload initiatives and endless meetings continue, even after the administration's promise to take a look into them. Our classes continue to get bigger and bigger. You've called for a school board task force for ERFC. Previous task force contained members who were selected by school board members, all with their own agendas, minus the employee considerations. The results were written and sealed before taking into consideration your employees. And now you seek to undermine our retirement system security, a benefit we cherish and need. For what? To see these trends continue? We are tired of being the ATM of the school board. It will not and has not been a stretch to educate our members with these facts. In this specific case, the monetary value of the savings are quite small. So we will be treating some teachers as second-class citizens and for very little gain. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. ERFC is a well-thought-out, sustainable system agreed upon by previous school boards because it works. It ensures that new, less expensive teachers with new ideas and training come into our schools to take the place of those who have served this school system well for more than 30 years. Leadership comes from you. You need to do better. We want to work with you, but you need to be willing to work with us. The Board of Trustees' deep commitment has built a system that has served our and the community's interests. We need to be listening to their expertise and direction and avoid imposing conditions from a politically motivated task force. The budget has not been finalized, and from your questions being presented to AON at the school board work session on Monday, it was clear many school board members do not know enough about ERFC to make these decisions that affect FCPS employees. We can live with some of the changes for new hires only. Minimum retirement at age 55, the change to interest credit rating, and making the COLA CPI capped at 4%. But we can't accept changes that We can't accept changing the deal that has been promised to non-vested employees. We also can't accept increasing the averaging period for the final averaging salary from 3 years to 5 years. With that said, it troubles us how little analysis the board is working off of. The rule of 90 has been dropped at the last minute, but has the board studied the impact of having more teachers at higher steps or the impacts of the kids in the classroom? I'm not aware of any such work. In closing, I want to share one testimonial real quick. This is my 5th year working with FCPS. I've dedicated my efforts to bettering FCPS student lives. If FCPS changes ERFC, I believe many wonderful, talented teachers would leave to seek other employment. Please do not change ERFC. Caitlin, thank you.
Thank you. Hank Kim, to be followed by Deborah Hammer, to be followed by Blanca Robles. Mr. Kim?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Chairwoman Evans and members of the school board. My name is Hank Kim. I am a proud resident of the Mount Vernon district, and I'm here to talk as a parent of 2 children in Woodley Hills Elementary School, in the elementary school, as well as an expert in public pension financing and administration. So my job here tonight is to provide a little bit more of a, I guess, a quantitative set of data versus to support the qualitative testimony you just heard regarding the sustainability of the ERFC. In terms of my professional qualifications, I am the Executive Director and Counsel for the National Conference on Public Employee Retirement Systems. It is the largest trade association for public sector pension plans, representing over 500 plans here in the United States, as well as a handful of plans up in Canada, and includes even a couple of plans in Australia. And as the Association for Public Plans, we do what a typical association does, which is we provide advocacy, we conduct research, and we provide education to stakeholders of public plans. So tonight, what I want to focus in on is the middle point, which is the research. And let me begin with numerous research regarding the efficiency of a defined benefit pension system. And because of the following qualities that are baked into a defined benefit plan, it is by far the most efficient means of saving for retirement. So because it is a defined benefit plan where you pool assets and you pool the risk, it is perpetually young. It is also professionally managed instead of you looking at your individual account maybe once a month or maybe even once a year. These accounts are managed and looked at on a consistent and regular basis. And because they are pooled, there is an economy of scale and negotiated reductions in fees. And because of this, because of these things that are baked into a defined benefit plan, they are almost 50% more efficient than individual accounts. And because ERFC is a DB plan, it's, these same qualities, are also baked into the ERFC. In terms of specific research regarding the ERFC, our organization conducts a survey of our membership. We've been doing it on an annual basis since 2011. And our most recent study came out in December 2016. And it is by far the most current set of data available regarding defined benefit plans. And unlike some of the other data that are out there where it largely is comparing plans that are really large compared to Fairfax County, it's sort of like comparing Fairfax County to the state of California. Our data shows, and our data is mostly state and local plans, local plans. 80% of respondents are very similar to Fairfax.
You could just wrap up, Mr. Kim.
Yes. The point being is ERFC, the results that we've shown from our survey very much mirrors the results in terms of return experience and the cost efficiency of ERFC. So for those things, we think that ERFC should be maintained and sustained. Thank you.
Thank you.